Not long ago, ConcernedApe was on a live stream where he shared some new music intended for Haunted Chocolatier. The name of one song in particular was Bee Boss, making it apparent that boss fights are coming to Haunted Chocolatier. This got me thinking about how different this is from Stardew Valley. There are no bosses in Stardew, and combat itself is very limited to just a few different areas on the map. In fact, you can ignore these areas completely if you want, and just treat Stardew like a farming sim. You may miss out on some upgrades, but the game is still perfectly playable. However, we already know that Haunted Chocolatier will be a lot more RPG than a life simulator, and that means combat will probably be unavoidable to progress in a meaningful way. The inclusion of boss fights makes this even more likely, so naturally I find myself with some questions. How many bosses will there be? What types of rewards can we get from boss fights? And will these boss fights be replayable? My main theory is focused on rewards right now. I look at it this way. If we were to pick some sort of equivalent to boss fights in Stardew Valley, I would say the closest thing we have is when you reach various levels in the mines and you're awarded a chest. These chests contain various upgrades that help you in combat, and there's only a set amount of them to unlock throughout your time in the valley. I think these boss fights will be very similar in that to unlock major rewards in Haunted Chocolatier, you'll need to defeat a boss who will be guarding a chest. It's also my opinion that you'll be able to replay these boss fights, similar to how you can revisit the mines in Stardew. However, you'll only be entitled to one reward chest, which you'll earn upon succeeding in your first encounter with any boss in the game. As for how many bosses Haunted Chocolatier will feature, I think it'll start with a fair amount. In my opinion, the map will likely be broken out into zones. Each zone will feature one major boss, and you'll need to do a bit of work before you can reach them. I'm thinking you'll encounter a lot of low-level enemies on your way to this boss encounter, and I wouldn't be surprised if there were some puzzles to solve along the way as well, similar to a top-down Zelda game, for example. What will be really interesting, though, is seeing how the modding community for Haunted Chocolatier reacts. Oh, wait, you didn't know Haunted Chocolatier would have mods? Well, then you should probably watch this video next. I'll see you over there.